Hi everyone. Um, my apologies. I'm a little bit disheveled, but who cares? Doesn't matter. Okay, let me just get comfortable. So this was a trip report video for 5 dried grams of psilocybin mushrooms in silent darkness, and I also potentiated it with 5 grams of Syrian rue infusion. For those who don't know, Syrian rue is a plant that contains harmala alkaloids, which are a component of ayahuasca. And to put it very simply and not in pharma nerd talk, it makes mushrooms way, way stronger. It potentiates them. Oh yeah, so Terence McKenna, who's like my favorite philosopher slash psychonaut slash Jesus person, um, he says that when most people do psychedelics, mushrooms in particular, they take like maybe 2 grams or so, and they do it like, with their friends and just like, ooh, cool patterns. And I've been using psychedelics since like 2012, so, and I've been taking like, the 2 to 3 gram range or like, whatever 100 micrograms of LSD. Well, actually, I've taken high doses of LSD, but this trip was way more intense than. Anyway, so Terence McKenna says that in order to really get the entheogenic spiritual experience from the mushroom, rather than doing it like 2, 3 grams, like in a nice, colorful room with your friends, which is definitely fun, but if you want like the spiritual experience where things really get interesting, you take 5 grams in silent darkness. And I definitely find he is totally right. Like the silent darkness, the sensory deprivation, just like there's nothing to like, there's no sensory input to like hold on to, and you just completely like, whoa. Um, So, yeah, this is how the trip went. And bear with me because it's hard to describe this. Like, it's actually indescribable, and language does not do it justice, but I'll try my best. So I was with my friends R and N. We were at R's house. And R and N wanted to make mushroom tea because they get nausea and stomach issues from eating them. I personally love the taste of psilocybin mushrooms, which people think is a lot of people are like, ew, how could you like that? But I could eat them as a snack, even if like they weren't psychedelic. I would just eat them as a snack. They're so yummy. But anyway, so they dosed about an hour or so later than me because I just munched mine down, but they had to like make tea and stuff. I drank the Syrian rue infusion like 15 minutes before. Yeah, you're supposed to do it like 15 minutes before taking the mushrooms. So I drank the Syrian rue and then I ate the mushrooms. And within about 10 minutes, normally when I come up on mushrooms, it's like gradual, but this is like that. Probably because of the Syrian rue, plus the fact that I was doing a lot. But it was hard to believe that I like took something orally. Like it was so fast. It was like I took a massive bong hit. And it was like a minute of like feeling like bong hit, like whoa. And at this point I knew I had to buckle down, like holy shit, because I've never like came up like that before. And within like 2 minutes after first feeling high is when the hallucination started. My friends have not dosed yet because they're still making their tea. But I started hallucinating, and I'm like, okay, like, can you shut the door, please? So that I was able to be in silent darkness. So they went to the kitchen, and I was by myself for a while, and the first thing was like, like the come up was also like very physical. I think probably the Syrian roux might do that, or it could just simply be because like I was dripping really hard or coming up really hard. And I was like, it was like normally come ups are like that, where it's like weird body feelings, but this is like particularly intense. I was like holding on to my body and like going like this because like there's a lot of like somatic feelings going on. It was a little bit nerve-wracking. But then there's like almost like the aurora borealis, like the northern lights. It was like behind me, and then it was like cascaded over me of like colorful, shimmery stuff is the best way I can describe it. Um and and it felt like the mushroom was like giving me a hug, like this colorful stuff just like cascaded over me. And I felt like much calmer. Um and another thing Terrence McKenna does is communicating with a mushroom as if it was like a person, which is really like pretty much the way it works is you ask a question, um, and it doesn't talk to you in language, you just get insight like immediately like that. It's pretty strange. I would almost say it's like gives you psychic abilities almost. Because there's been some things that I've asked Mushroom in previous trips that like really came true, and I'm like, whoa. But anyway, and so, and then I heard the mushroom say, "Don't worry, Tina, it's me. I'm here. You can trust me." Um, and it's like, "You want another hug?" And I was thinking, yes. And like, another wave of color swept over me. And it was like, huge, like hundreds of meters is what it looked like. And it was just like massive, like northern lights curtains just sweeping over me. And then, like, it started off as just like colorful patterns, and then it got more complicated to the point that I was actually like, I was in like different cities. Like the visuals like formed into colorful city lights, and I was actually like in another place, which is like the first time that I've ever had an experience like this on a psychedelic. Normally, it just like I see what I see, but like really trippy looking. But this is the first time that I was like in another place. And it was Toronto at first because I saw the CN Tower. I was in Chinatown looking at the CN Tower, and then I was in Seoul in Korea. Um, and there's like, and then like there's like there are the in this in Korea there are like these lights on the street that they look like traffic lights, but they're a little smaller, and there's five of them, and it went red, yellow, green, blue, purple, and it kind of looked futuristic. Um, Kind of, I think it was a decoration or something. And I'm like, where am I? Am I in Korea? And I didn't really get much of an answer from the mushroom. I was just being shown different scenes. And then, and after a while of being in different cities, my friends came in, their tea was ready, they turned the light on. Um, and like when they turned the light on, I like came out of Korea and I was back in ours bedroom. But like the visuals were so intense that my goal, I've always had a goal where I wanted to trip so hard that I'm hallucinating so much I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. And like even though I knew I was in ours room, once the light went on and stuff, like the visuals were so intense